Dear students, today we start the second supplementary textbook of class 12 English, that is Vistas. And in this video we will start with the first chapter of this book, and the name of this chapter is the third level. And here in the first video we will discuss briefly about the author, introduction, theme, and summary of this lesson. Now, about the author. The author of the lesson is Jack Finney. He was born as Jack Finney on October 2nd, 1911, at Milwaukee, Wisconsin, United States. He died on November 14, 1995, at the age of 84 years in Greenbury, California, United States. Occupation was novelist, short story writer, and his nationality was American. Alma mater, Knox College, period from 1946 to 1995. Genre, non-fiction, science fiction, thrillers, and comedy. Subject, 19th century American history. His notable works, The Body Snatchers and Another Time and Again. This was briefly about the author Jack Finney. Now we will discuss the introduction of this chapter. The third level by Jack Finney is about the harsh realities of war. War has irreversible consequences, thus leaving people in a state of insecurity. It is also about modern day problems and how common man tends to escape reality by various means. In this story, a man named Charlie hallucinates and reaches the third level of the Grand Central Station, which only has two levels. This was introduction. Now the summary and the theme of the story. The narrative oscillates twice between the past and the present. Therefore, the primary theme of the story is time travel. However, escapism is another significant theme of the story, as the protagonist, Charlie, wishes to escape into a world along with his wife that's away from his grim realities and a happier place to dwell in, that's in the year 1894, much before the First and Second World Wars. This is a reflection of the fact that life in the early times was much happier, and the people in that time weren't anxious or fearful, unlike his present times. Charlie not only transcends the boundaries of time and space, but also of reality and imagination. So, Charlie not only transcends the boundary boundaries of time and space, but also of reality and imagination. And this is the theme of the story. Next, we will discuss the summary of the chapter, the third level by this author in brief. Summary. The narrator of the story, Charlie, is well aware and assured of the fact that Grand Central Station, New York, has only two stations or levels. However, he is thrilled by his experience of finding the third level as well. He describes in detail about the setting of this third level, which clearly didn't seem that of the present times. There were open flames, gaslights, brass spittoons. People too were dressed differently, like the man wore a derby hat, a black four-button suit with tiny lapels, and he had a big black handlebar mustache. Women wore mutton sleeves And there were certain other things that he noticed which were quite obsolete or mischievous for the present years. He even got a glimpse of a locomotive or a vehicle of courier and ives. He is astounded to find himself in the past and to get a reassurance. He looks at the newspaper, The World, which was dated 11th June 1894, and it was now all of his doubts were put to an end as he knew that publication of the newspaper, The World, had stopped way earlier. Along with his wife Louisa, he wanted to stay in the world he discovered, and therefore he went to the ticket counter to ask for 2 tickets to Galesburg, Illinois, where he could stay with his wife far away from the anxious and fearful world of the present. However, as astounded as he was upon looking everyone and everything, so were the people around him by noticing him like the man at the ticket counter noticed how differently was he dressed. So they too found him strangely dressed. Though he could not buy the tickets as he did not have the running currency of the time, he decided to go back, exchange the new currency for the old one, and then return to the third level with his wife Louisa. After returning back and getting his currency exchanged, he tried to find the third level, but it was not found. Nonetheless, Charlie told all this to his wife, and she got worried about him, and eventually he had to stop looking for the third level. His psychiatrist friend Sam disappeared all of a sudden, and nobody knew about his whereabouts. One night, while he was fussing with his stamp collection, Charlie found a first day cover of the mailed envelopes with a blank page inside that stamp collectors mail to themselves when a new stamp is issued, which has a postmark that proves the date that was addressed to his grandfather in Galesburg, which was dated July 18, 1894. The letter in the first day cover was not blank and had something written on it. This turned out to be a letter signed by his friend Sam. Sam wrote in the letter that he had managed to find the third level and he is happy there and wanted Charlie to keep looking for it as it was worth it. Charlie went to the stamp and coin store and figured out that Sam bought $800 worth of old style currency. This was astonishing for Charlie, as Sam himself referred this as a waking dream wish fulfillment, which Charlie used himself chose to become a part of this hunky-dory world that was situated in past. Dear students, this was about the author, introduction, theme, and summary of the first chapter of the supplementary textbook Vistas of Class 12, and the name of the chapter was The Third Level by Jack Finney. Have a nice day. Thank you.